All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. All right, so it looks like the crypto market crash is continuing, but it actually, I just took a look at the prices and it looks like we may be bouncing off of that 93, 94K level. And maybe we continue to crash during the weekend, but maybe we don't. Remember, we just had an interest rate decrease of 25 basis points. So, in my opinion, that is bullish for the market. However, every time after the Fed announces a interest rate decrease, the market doesn't know how to act. They think it's bearish. They think it's bullish. It's kind of a mix, and people start to sell off and kind of just go crazy. But in my opinion, I don't really think it's too much to do with the interest rates because, again, it's a very bullish catalyst. So I don't think us decreasing or going down in price has anything to do with the current interest rate decrease. For me, I just think whales, market makers know, okay, we're about to go into this parabolic stage of the crypto bull market, and they're trying to shake up the weak hands. And it looks like they did a pretty good job, but it looks like there may be still some falling left, and we'll see, right? We'll see how this weekend plays out. Remember, the crypto market is a 24/7 market. It does not close. So it could change during the weekend. People can realize, okay, what are we selling for? Why are we selling our positions if we're about to go into one of the most bullish crypto periods that we've ever seen before? Why are we selling our positions? And I think it just takes time for people to realize that. But again, in my opinion, I think it's a lot of market makers, a lot of whales manipulating the market, and just trying to shake out the weak hands, right? So let me share my screen. Let's start to take a look at some of these prices, and let's see what's going on here. All right. All right, so first, we always want to take a look at BTC. Again, BTC moves the market. You can always have some altcoins that are moving against BTC, and I think we're going to see that soon. I know we haven't been seeing that recently. It takes time for altcoins to kind of break out and do their own thing, quote unquote, that altcoin season. But for right now, for the most part, coins are following what BTC does, right? So if BTC crashes, most likely altcoins will crash, right? And we were at 102 during the last 2-3 days. Now we're sitting at we were sitting at 92, and we had a bounce back of 97. Now, is that it? The question is this the beginning of a bigger crash, or are we going to bounce back up? And you can really never tell the difference. I remember the last bull cycle. Once we actually went into that parabolic run, like on a dip like this, we kind of just went straight up, right? And it's a moment's notice. You don't really have a chance to buy too much of the dip. So that's why I said I think by tomorrow we're going to figure out whether this is going to be a crash that we see more of, or is this going to be one of those quick crashes and then we're back over 100K, right? Because that's kind of the staple, 100K. We were at 90. I mean, just a couple hours ago, we were at 93, 92, and we bounced up, but we bounced up pretty high, right? We're at 97.6. And for me, just looking at the market, it really wants to get back over that 100K mark. I think that's one of those key areas when it comes to Bitcoin. Now it's one of those psychological areas where, if BTC falls below it, you're going to have buyers quickly trying to quickly bring the price back up, right? Because, again, a lot of people were waiting for BTC to pass 100K, and it did it, right? And once it passed, you saw we went to 102, 103, 104, 105, 106. And I think once we get to like 110, I think that's pretty much it. Now, who knows if we go into the bull cycle or the bear cycle? Do we crack below 100K again? I'm not sure. It could be the case. In my opinion, I do think we still see 100 below 100K again. Now, it honestly depends on how high BTC goes this cycle. If BTC goes to 150, I definitely think we see below 100K, like in that 80 to 90 range. Now, if BTC gets to 200 to 250 this cycle, I'm not sure, right? I think that's going to be 100K gap from that 100K barrier for BTC to have to fall through in order to get under 100K again. Now, there is going to be a lot of profit taking once we get to that 130, 140, 150. You're seeing a lot of crypto YouTubers talk about, okay, we're ready to sell. We're in that selling mode, because you got to remember, a lot of people in crypto, they were in at the bottom, right? Once we had this first crash from the last bear cycle, a lot of people were, now I wouldn't say a lot of people, but the people that understood that BTC was at a discount were buying right here, right? So if they were buying from 16 to 36, I mean, they're already up, right? They're already up like 3, 4, 5x. So right now it's just everything. It's just extra. Everything above that is just extra. And they understand it's going to go above 100K again. It's going to get into the 120s, the 130s, the 140s, the 150s. So yeah, but again, it just depends on where it ends up and whether it builds enough cushion to where it's not going to break 100K again. Because even though we have institutional investors in the space, I still think they understand the cycles. They understand, okay, people know every 4 years there's going to be a BTC happening, and we're still going to play on that cycle. I think they'll still play on that cycle such that they're going to sell when, things get too heated, right? When everybody else is selling, they'll probably sell too, just to scare people out. And again, drive the price down so they could buy at a cheaper rate. People are trying to, that if you don't get what's going on, they try to drive the price down so they could buy and accumulate at a cheaper rate and kind of make these areas where it's just not breakable. I mean, we saw it with this 117. Once we hit 117 here and we broke 117, yeah, we came down for the bear cycle and we got to like 16, 17,000, but we didn't really break below like 10 or 12K, right? We're kind of creating these bases. So if the same thing follows here, then we probably, like I said, if we break below 100K again, that 59 to 60K right here, this strong support area, probably won't be broken again. But you got to think about it too. People have amnesia and they won't remember this. They'll say, once we go to the bull market, because right now Bitcoin's at 97, right? 97.7, and people are saying, oh, if only it was at 59 to 60,000 so I could buy more of it at that price, right? They're saying that right now. But watch when this crypto bull market is over and it gets back to that 59, 60K level. A lot of those people will not be buying at that time. They'll be either following the narrative that crypto's worthless or crypto's not going to go up in price again or whatever, and they're going to get the price that they want, but they won't buy. And that's typically how the people in crypto work, like the fly-by-night people. We call them the fly-by-nights. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these cryptos. Let's see what's on discount, right? Let's see what's on discount. Obviously, we think BTC is on discount. What else, right? We saw Ethereum at 30 or 4,000 earlier, probably like a week or two ago, literally, and it still hasn't broken its all-time highs. That's very unique for Ethereum. Usually, Ethereum would have getting close to bringing its all-time highs of like 4,700, but it hasn't done that yet. So I think Ethereum's really on discount too. Now, how high it goes this cycle just depends on how we do in January. I think once January gets here and we get into the new year, which is not that far away, the new year is literally like a couple weeks away. Once we get into the new year, we're going to see how everybody reacts to the new the people that are going to be taking office and stuff like that. Again, I don't want to get into either side or whatever, but we're going to have new new administration, and we're going to see. Most likely, though, it'll be bullish for the first 5 to 6 months. Because, again, this new administration that's coming in is very bullish now, are very pro-crypto. But, we'll see what happens, right? Because, again, a lot of people, when it's different when somebody's in office, not in office, opposed to when they're in office, and you actually have to see what they do opposed to what they say. But so far, it seems like, it's going to be bullish. But we got to see what laws get passed and all this stuff. But I think once January hits, we got to take a look at what Ethereum does. Can Ethereum break their all-time high of 4,700 in January? I think if we could get that done early, I think 8 to 10,000 Ethereum is not off the table, right? And that's a double from here. And for me, it's most likely going to be that April to May timeframe in which we reach the double of Ethereum, right? Because you got to understand, 2025 is the most bullish year. The year after the halving is the most bullish year. So, April's damn near, half the year already. I mean, we're at June, July of 2025. That's half the year gone. So expect to see, huge prices at that point if 2025 is going to be a really good year for crypto, right? So, and that's what everybody's kind of predicting. Now, for me, I think it's going to be somewhat bullish most of the year, but you don't want to be holding, you don't want to not be taking profit, right? We spoke about exit strategies and things like that. You should be taking profit along the way and, slowly moving your positions to cash or stable coins. So that way you can lock in some of these profits and you're not just round tripping these cycles and you have to wait the next 3-4 years for the next bull cycle, right? We don't want to round trip our gains. It happens a lot. And it's because people fall into the idea that these things are just going to keep going up in price, right? These things don't just keep going up in price. They do have a ceiling, but sometimes it's hard to get through people in a bull cycle because things just keep going up, right? When you open up your portfolio, when you open up your Coinbase, when you open up your Binance, when you open up Kraken, when you open up whatever, and you see your portfolio going up 30, 40% each day, it's hard to tell you anything because you think, okay, I picked the right coin, it's going to keep going up, and so on and so forth, right? But you need to be able to say, okay, this is my goal. I came in with 10,000. I'm trying to leave out with 100. Right now, I'm at 50. Should I take 20, 30% off the table and let the rest ride for a little bit and see how things go, right? So those are the questions you need to be asking yourself. Okay, so yeah, I think Ethereum's undervalued for sure. And I'm looking at the market cap. It's $418 billion. I definitely see $1 trillion Ethereum by the end of this bull market, and that will put it around that 8 to 10,000. Now, do we go beyond that? I think we could, but I think not too much further beyond that 10,000 mark. And the reason being is because last cycle, if you guys remember last cycle, 100K was the staple for last cycle, right? So for BTC. For BTC, 100K, everybody was saying, we're going to break 100K, and we stopped short at 69 or 70,000, somewhere around there. So we stopped below 30% below our target. So do we stop 30% below our target? People are saying 10K, 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 10K for Ethereum. Do we stop below that target, right? Do we hit 7,000 only or 8,000 and then that's it, right? It could be, but I think if we do hit 10,000, we touch it for a little bit and then that's pretty much it. Unless something just miraculously happens with Ethereum where maybe it gets mass adoption, which I think a lot of the steam of Ethereum is getting taken by these two coins that I'm going to talk about next, right? But I do see 8 to 10,000 for Ethereum. But if it was me, if I was holding Ethereum, I'd be looking to take profit around 6 to 7,000. That's just my opinion. Okay, not financial advice. Okay, so the two coins that have been taking steam off of Ethereum are Solana is the first one, and what else? So yeah, I won't. The second one I'll mention, but Solana has been taking the steam off Ethereum. Honestly, Solana has reached its all-time highs before Ethereum, and I think that's one of the main reasons we haven't seen Ethereum reach its all-time highs because Solana has been taking the show, along with a lot of other L1s, right? We'll get into another one just in a minute. But I mean, if you look at the all-time highs for Solana, right? 239. We already hit that, right? 250. 250, that high 249. So Solana has been getting a lot of attention. The reason being is there's a lot of meme coins on Solana that have been, going crazy. The transaction speed for Solana is faster than Ethereum. So just the ecosystem itself has been a lot better for crypto users, for daily crypto users. So that's why Solana has taken the show. And honestly, when Solana was trading for, it was trading for like $27. I honestly didn't think it would reach its all-time highs in in this crypto bull run that we're in right now because of the whole FTX thing, right? Remember, Solana was tagged to or associated to FTX, that whole scandal. So it wasn't one of those coins that I was trying to touch, but shout out to the people that actually bought at the lows and held till now. But I think Solana is definitely going to be one of those Ethereum killers. Guys, if you guys are watching, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. But yeah, I think Solana's going to be the killer. And then also the ETF, it seems like if there's any ETF that will be coming down the pipeline that will get approved first, I think Solana would be that spot ETF that comes next. Because remember, we already had the BTC, we already have the Ethereum spot ETFs approved. So I think the next one on the list is Solana. Now, we haven't really seen those inflows really impact the Ethereum price that much. So I'm not sure. Do we see that beginning of 2025? Like I was saying. How is Ethereum going to react the first month of 2025, January? I think if we could break that $4,700 mark, I think we'll be in good shape. But right now, Solana's slowing that down. Currently, Solana's at $93 billion market cap right here, $93 billion market cap. I think it could easily get to half a $1 trillion market cap this cycle. Which would put it around that $800 to $1,000 level, which would put it 4 to 5x from here. All right, so Solana is one of the L1s that are taking steam. Another one that has come up that has taken steam off of the Ethereum show is Sui, right? And again, remember a lot of the developers for Sui. Come from Facebook, that whole Libra Facebook project. A lot of the developers had split out and went to Aptos and Sui. And, it's been doing good. It's been getting a lot of attention. Apparently, it has taken the show as far as like transaction volume. It's still up there. I think Solana's still winning, but I think Sui's up there. Or I think it's actually on some days it's been taking over Solana in some of the daily transaction volume. Right now it's at 13 billion. It's small. It's real small. I mean, compared to like Solana, which is at 93 billion. Hey, Duffy Newman. So Duffy Newman says, I've been in crypto since 2017, became a millionaire in 2020, 2021. Congratulations. Bull market, been listening to you for the last 15 minutes. Everything you said so far is solid. Keep spreading the good word, and best wishes to you on the channel. I appreciate it, man, and congrats. Hopefully you become a multimillionaire this cycle. That'd be great. But yeah, so Sui, I think there's a lot more potential. You know, I think it could get to at least 100 billion this cycle, right? Because if Solana's sitting at, if we look back at Solana, it's at 93, right? And it hasn't really touched it. I mean, it hasn't broken its all-time high, so it still has more room to grow. So I at least think Sui could do what Solana has done to this point, right? Which would be at a 90 billion, $100 billion market valuation. Now, and we haven't even really started. I can't say we haven't really started altcoin season. Things have been running, but you know, if you've been in this cycle for a while, like Duffy knows, since he's been since 2017. You know, when you're in an altcoin season, you know, right? You're opening up the app and you're seeing prices just keep going up, keep going up, keep going up. Not to say we haven't seen that, but you know, like it's one of those feelings that you get, and you just keep seeing the price go up. It just feels weird, right? Like the cryptos are us guy. He said you feel dirty, right? Which I think in some, you know, in some days this year, we kind of like it got that dirty feeling, like, oh wow, the prices are up. But I don't think we've gotten there totally yet, because I've gotten like questions from my, usually, dude, that's a signal too. If you start getting like questions from your family, like people start texting you early in the morning, like, hey, what's going on with crypto, or do you have this type of you have a plan, blah 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 blah. I get those all the time, and yeah, I think once you, which I've gotten those questions. So I think we are in a crypto bull run, that's for sure. But I don't think we have gotten to that parabolic stage. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the top altcoins haven't broken their all-time highs. And if they have broken their all-time highs, they kind of like shot back down a little bit. Like we saw Solana touch its all-time highs and then like come back down. So we got to really see one breakthrough. And also the let's see, the Bitcoin dominance. This thing's always Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is 57. So usually, if we see it below, once we see it below 50%, then that's when you know, that's when true altcoin season is. So it still has some more to go, right? Still has some more to go. Yeah, for sure. I had one day where my portfolio went up 100K in 24 hours. Yep, exactly. Right. Like you have that. Like I don't think my portfolio did 100K, but maybe like, you know, I think during the peak of last cycle it was like 40 or 50K or something like that. And it's just crazy. It's almost like, you know, in a week you see just crazy swings in your portfolio. But yeah, you know, you see those type of price movements where it's just ridiculous. But yeah, I would say when the Bitcoin dominance is below 50, that's when true altcoin season. So that's another measure that you guys need to watch out for. And basically, you know, once that happens, a lot of the liquidity from BTC will be transferring over to altcoins, which I think has happened again for some of them. We saw like, you know, we saw that huge XRP, that huge candle. My goodness, right? Like from 60 cents to 230. I'm pretty sure like the bag holders for XRP were happy about this. But yeah, I mean, we've seen the liquidity has moved into certain altcoins, but still, we haven't had that true altcoin season. All right, so let's take a look at some more. Again, this cycle, I think Avalanche is going to do really well. It's at $40. I think that at least reaches its all-time highs, which is at like 140, 150. So that's another 3-4x from there. But a lot of the coins that are going to do good are, like I've always been saying, it's this AI space. Now, Near Protocol is one of those where you could technically say it's like AI. but it's fairly new onto the space. Now, I don't know about the transaction volume on this, but I think Near Protocol definitely sees, past its all-time highs a little bit. Again, which is all-time highs are like around $13. Maybe we see double that, $26. I don't think that's out of the range. So I think that would be what, like a 5-6x from here, which put it at around 30-40 billion dollar market cap. I think for Near that's doable. Render is going to be one that does really well. In this recent crash, man, Render has gone on a discount. I think this one, and the chart's intact. I've said this on my last, one of my last live. I don't remember which one. I've done a lot of live streams, but so look at your chart when we're in the kind of like the second quarter of the crypto bull market, probably like early second quarter. The chart should be looking something like this, right? If your chart doesn't look this strong, it doesn't matter if the price, obviously the price right now, Render's going down, but the chart should be looking somewhat strong, right? Like it should be looking, on the up, for it to do really well this bull cycle. Now, I'm not saying you can't have some surprises, but for me, I think Render could at least hit 50 billion, in my opinion, and that will put it, like 15x from here, right? Which put it like around $100. That's kind of what a lot of people are predicting, like that 50 to $100 area for Render. Yeah, during altcoin season, you feel like a total genius, but that is the exact time you need to take profits. Exactly, and peeling some off the table. The run does not last forever. This is true. That is true. I think you need to start. That's why I say, like, for me, the safest time period, and I don't like to throw, I like to see what the price action's doing, but we know 2025 is going to be the end, right? Now, a lot of people are speculating, oh, this cycle is going to be different. We have institutional investors, but, we kind of heard that last cycle, right? Like, this is going to be the bull cycle. And I feel like since it's the first cycle where we have that real institutional money coming in because of the spot ETFs, I think they still want to play this cycle out again, right? Don't think that Wall Street and the whales don't want to make money too. So they understand that that there's a cycle, right? So they want to play this out a little bit more too. So I think we have like a cycle or two before this thing goes on a continuous bull market. You said, especially at the end of the run, the true parabolic phase happens fast. Yes, within like a month, honestly, within like a month or two. These things don't last long. I remember, like the last cycle, it was literally, actually, we don't even need to speculate. Let's go back and see how long it actually lasted, right? So, because people don't believe it. People think we're just talking, right? All right, so honestly, I'm not even going to count this little run-up right here. This little run-up right here, I'm going to count after we break all-time highs, right? Literally, how long did it last, right? So from here, we broke that 20,000 mark. It was right around November, right? In December, right where we're at now, right? Exactly. So to March, really, literally March and April is when it topped out. Yes, it did bounce back, but you got to look on this bounce back. Most people think, when it crashes at this point, you really have to have that some strength to hold through this and not sell, right? And when it bounces up right here, a lot of people were thinking, oh, it's going to break, that 60, 70K market. It's going to keep going to 100K. Because remember, that's what people were saying last cycle. It's going to go to 100K. So imagine all the people that thought when it broke like 70, 71 for a little bit, and they thought, oh, it's going to 100K. I'm going to hold my bag. And then when it dipped here, they said, okay, I'm going to, when it went to like 36 or 37, they said, okay, well, I'm going to get rid of my bag. Now that it's going down, I'm going to get rid of it at 50. It never hit 50. It crashed all the way back down to 20. And now you're just way into it. Right now you're a bag holder, right? Because you keep thinking it's going to go back higher because we reached it, and you just keep cycling. You keep round tripping the cycle, and it gets very dangerous when you try to top the top, trying to time the top. So I think right here, like I said, I think looking from the past, I think that March to April timeframe is the time you need to think about taking profit. And honestly, you should be looking more at your portfolio, but you should be kind of trying to connecting it with the time frames from the past. So obviously March through April or the time frames where, okay, we saw the top, but if I have let's just say I had a 10K portfolio, you made 5x on your money. I think you should be thinking about taking profit. That's a pretty good thing. Now, maybe you don't take everything. Got to be selling then. Yep, in a few weeks. Got to run. The info you spreading is solid. Keep it up. I subscribe. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. I go live pretty much every day. We don't always talk about crypto, but since we're in a bull market, I've been talking about crypto almost every live stream. So, and I guess the people like it. So we'll keep talking about it. We'll also mix it up with some other stuff. But appreciate you, man. Yeah, but so that is basically when you need to start taking profit, right? Like when your portfolio does a 5x, a 3 to 5x, you got to look at it and be like, this is, and what investment do you do at 3 to 5x? I mean, you can argue and say Nvidia, you can argue and say Tesla, but again, who's really, not many of the middle class people, right? Because I assume a lot of people, are in the middle class or below. Not a lot of you are investing in those type of things. You're most likely in a 401k, and crypto is one of those things that's just been widespread. So you've been exposed to it. So this is one of those asset classes where you could do a 3 to 5x in a short amount of time. You don't need to wait 10 years, right? So if you get that, don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. Take some profit off the table. If you want to still stay in and trying to moonbag some stuff, take at least 20-30% off the table and, focus on that. Don't just not take profit. And I know it's going to be hard because all you're going to think about is your portfolio going up in price, right? Guys, if you're watching, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers going into the new year. We will hit it. Eventually, I think in the first quarter, we will hit that mark. All right, let's see. I've been on for 32 minutes. Let's see what else. There's been a lot of talk about Aave and Link too. Aave has been doing some good numbers as far as users, people using the protocol. And you see it. It's doing really well. I think Aave is going to be one of those ones that break its all-time highs. And this is, for those of you who don't know what Aave is, this was like one of the key players in the DeFi movement. And I think it breaks 600. And I think we get to, maybe we double that, right? So right now it's sitting at 5 billion. To get to its all-time highs, that's 10 billion, double that, 20 to 30 billion. I think that's doable for Aave, depending on how big the DeFi narrative picks up, right? Remember, DeFi was a past narrative. Not saying that past narratives can't run, especially with this uptick in usage, right? It looks like a lot of institutional people are taking liking to Aave. And we've always said that DeFi was going to be one of those narratives that always stick around. So Aave could be one of those resurging narratives that take precedent and just keep going up. So, and it looks like the market cap and the fully diluted value are not that far apart, especially for having its crypto bull cycle, its parabolic cycle. I mean, if you could say that, who knows what it does this cycle? Because if it could break its all-time highs, this might have not been the parabolic cycle for this, right? It might be the parabolic cycle now. But again, we have to see how DeFi plays out this cycle, right? And then the last one we're going to go over is Chainlink, I think, it's a solid play. Now, all these that I'm mentioning, I'm not, this is not financial advice. I'm not saying go buy these. I'm just saying what is hot right now and what I think is going to do well this bull cycle. Chainlink has this almost like the same uptick, just like Aave. It's one of those coins that are getting a lot of institutional attraction, and I do think it breaks its all-time highs of I think the all-time high was like 45, $50. This is a play that I did last time, and I was in it like in the $2 to $3 area, and I think I wrote it up to like 17 or $18, and I got out of it, and then that bull cycle went all the way to like 50 or something like that. But definitely getting a lot of traction this cycle. It's definitely something, a project to look at and be aware of, and yeah, I think it does well this cycle. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I did 35 minutes here. If you guys are watching the video, please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe. And yeah, I came out with a video that talks about the 5 worst cryptocurrency mistakes you should not make. So make sure you go watch that video. And also check out the other content on the channel. That's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.